I think we'll do a session on wiring today. We'll take one of the deciduous trees that are just about to start waking up. It's early March, so spring is on the way, but it's not quite here yet. We're just around the corner. A good candidate for wiring, I think, today is this Korean hornbeam here. As I say, just coming into leaf, nice shape already. The branches are still a bit rough, so I think there's plenty we can do with, refining the overall image. So let's have a go at that today, and we'll see what happens.
Before we begin wiring this tree, there is like certain flaws within the structure. They may as well be removed before the wiring commences. Little branches like this in this position what grow upwards, it's never going to make a nice branch. Another branch at back there, it's growing straight back into that branch. As that one comes up, that's just going to grow across and cross it. That needs to come back to there. That will obviously be gone. That's going to be lifted up. That's going to become a crossing branch, so that's no good. That's growing straight up. That's no good. There's remains of a few leaves from last season's harvest. You can actually see it's actually good that they've stayed on. You can see how naturally predisposed they are to make a bonsai. The leaves are tiny in the world of hornbeams. They're just absolutely superb. You just can't go wrong with them. But they just need whipping off at the petiole like that, and that's that. So we're just going to have a quick route through, remove any stubs, any branches what need removing, and then start the wiring. Just got a pair of branch cutters. I'm just going to gradually work through these, remove the stuff what don't want to be on.
What's your reason for taking that branch off then?
It's just going to grow out and across and above that branch. This branch wants to be wired in that direction, so that's there like that. When that one's going to come across there, it's going to confuse your eye. You're going to be looking at two things at the same time. It's never going to, not going to make a nice look.
Okay.
Any blatantly upward branches will come off. We're cutting back to in front of a node, like that for example there. Cut in front of a leaf node.
And a node would be essentially a bud, is what we're talking about there.
Yeah, it's as the leaf's emerging. As that leaf emerges, these are turning red. You can see them swelling. Little green tips coming now, so not be long and they will be out. Try and stagger your branches so you've got a left-right branch rather than keep all your branches on one side of a tree. That's only gonna ever leave you lopsided branches, lopsided structure, and you can wire to your heart's content. You're never gonna rescue a lopsided situation unless your tree decides to chuck any more branches out from the points where you've cut, which often trees do, but it's a bit pointless if you can directionally leave them so that they're in the right place originally. It's actually in very good shape, this tree. It's a batch what came in last year. We put so many to one side for wiring in spring because they were so nice, and now's the time to do it.
The wire that we're using is annealed aluminium, which has been coated in copper just for the colour. Just use a sheet of paper just to show you one of the branches. So we've obviously got the main branch just coming off the trunk there, but then we've got a number of branches that you can see coming to the left and to the right. Now we call those the sub branches, so we'll mainly be concentrating on wiring those today because the big branches are not in bad positions already, but what we're hoping to do is almost make that look like a splayed open palm. So there's a little bit here, can you see this? This is not great, where there's two sub branches coming off the main branch at the same position. So that's arguably worse than some of the other bits further up, so I think Jamie's just about to to get rid of one of those. The ideal scenario is you've got one to the left and then one to the right and then one to the left and then one to the right, and it concurrently runs down, and that means that when you get the wires on, it'll look proper really nice and neat and everything, you know. So Jamie's put the first wire on now. We haven't actually bent the branch yet, but the reason why I wanted you just to see this is so that you can see that we've only used one wire, but we've wired two branches. So if you just follow with your eye where that wire goes, it starts up here and it's folded in half. One half runs down this way and then one half runs down the other way, and that's a great way of wiring. What are you thinking back there?
I think that's a dead branch. Look at colour on that.
Okay.
It's going red.
Right, okay.
As opposed
Is
to...
there any buds on the end or anything?
No, nothing.
Okay.
There were nothing. I don't think it could have survived. It don't matter, it puts nice movement in anyway.
Okay.
Right, left. Tips down back as well.
Okay, that's the first few wires on, but the reason why I've started doing normal filming again is just to show you the wire on the major branches. So can you see this? Yeah, absolutely. It starts around there, look, and it's round the back, or around the front I should say, look, around here, look, and then it transitions onto this branch here. So again, we've used one wire to wire two branches, which helps with the strength essentially. It's the main reason for it.
Just working through the structure of the tree now, trying to find the most aesthetically pleasing branch structure from front.
Okay.
Stick that in front. So we know that that's where his eye is. So that branch has got to push back.
Right, so you're going to wire that one over that way?
Yeah, that one. That one will get wired into that one.
Okay.
I'll bring that one a fraction that way, that one a fraction that way. The canopy's not actually bad, it'll make a nice apex. Just a little bit of laying out on branches. Bit down there, bit down there, bit down there. The structure of the tree's fantastic, it's really nice. It'll in 3 weeks time, when leaves have burst, it'll look breathtaking, it'll be beautiful.
We generally start wiring from the bottom and work our way up to the top. Do that because when you start putting the first wires on, you can just gently move the branches just a little bit out of the way so you can get your hands in a little bit more easily. We've done parts of this video at high speed, obviously, just to pick the pace up on the recording. In reality, you're going to take some time over the process of putting the wires on. You know, it could take an hour, it could take a couple of hours potentially, particularly at the beginning when you don't necessarily know everything about what you're doing.
As you can see now, the wiring's all on. There's odd little bits what have been left, including up at canopy, because the branch structure is so fine it's not really much point wiring it. But the bulk of the primaries, the secondaries and the tertiaries are all now fully wired. It's just a matter of bending them into a position what's most aesthetically pleasing to the structure of this trunk. So here we go doing that.
Incidentally, the shape and curving movement that you see in the trunk was created in a similar way, i.e. using wire, but when the plant was a lot smaller and a lot younger. Okay, so now the branches have been bent into place, so that's job done. Let's just have a little recap of what we've actually done.
As you see the branches now laid out in the proper manner, it'll maximise the efficiency of the leaves. Instead of leaves sitting on top of other leaves, each one should have its own area, and that will it'll be the best way of doing it for the tree.
And this is pretty much a top-down view that we're showing you at the minute, but if we flip it so that we're looking side on, as it were, give that a spin round for us, mate. And
Yeah.
bit more, keep going. That's it, yeah, do that look from there. Okay, so we've got branches that are radiating out pretty much horizontally and filling most of the space, and then importantly we've got the gaps in between, as you can see on here. The majority of the buds, the tiny buds on the end, look, they're all facing outwards. There's not too many facing down or too many facing up, so when those buds pop and the new growth starts to emerge, it's all going to come out at a pleasing angle. So there we go. Thanks for watching the video, everybody. I hope you liked it, and we'll do some more in the future.